In the quiet woods of the Pacific Northwest, old man Arthur sought solace, not adventure. A retired history professor, his days were spent among ancient trees, his only companions the whispers of the wind and the rustle of unseen creatures. But one crisp autumn afternoon, the woods held a secret far grander than any he'd ever read in his books. He was tracking a deer trail, more for the walk than the hunt, when a scent hit him, not of pine or damp earth, but something musky, primal, yet strangely clean. Curiosity piqued, he followed it to a small, hidden clearing. And there he was. It was a sight that would have sent most men running. But Arthur, ever the academic, was simply fascinated. Leaning against a massive redwood was a creature of legend. It was immense, covered in dark, matted fur, its form a powerful silhouette against the dappled sunlight. It was Bigfoot, but it wasn't the beast of folklore that held Arthur's gaze. It was the eyes. They were intelligent, ancient, and held a profound, contemplative sadness. The creature wasn't startled. It simply watched Arthur approach, a large, gnarled hand resting on a peculiar object of smooth, dark stone covered in intricate, unfamiliar symbols. Arthur's heart pounded, not with fear, but with the thrill of discovery. He stopped a respectful distance away. "Hello there," he said, his voice a calm tremor in the silent woods. He expected a grunt, a roar, or for it to simply vanish back into the forest. He did not expect a voice. It was deep, resonant, and didn't come from the creature's mouth in the way a human speaks. It was more like a thought, a feeling that bloomed directly inside Arthur's mind. The language of the first men, the voice resonated. You speak a fractured echo of it. It is nostalgic. Arthur stumbled back a step, his mind reeling. "A telepathic Sasquatch, you can talk," he stammered, feeling foolish the moment the words left his mouth. "Talk," the voice mused. "This form is not built for your delicate phonetics, but thought. Thought is universal. I am Kale, and you, little brother of Adam, are far from your concrete dens." Over the next hour, which felt like minutes, Arthur sat on a fallen log and had the most profound conversation of his life. Kale, as he called himself, was not just an animal. He was a being of immense intellect, a living library of deep history. He spoke of the world before the ice, of the great migrations of megafauna, as if he'd witnessed them himself. He described the subtle, intricate language of the forest, the way the trees communicated through their roots, the way the flow of a river carried memories. Your kind Kale's thought voice rumbled. You build walls of stone and data. You sever your connection to the great web. You look at the stars, but you no longer feel their pull. You've forgotten the song. He gestured with a massive hand towards the stone he'd been holding. Your scientists seek a theory of everything. They smash particles together, hoping to find the source code. But they're looking at the pixels, not the picture. The universe is not a machine. It is a consciousness. This, he indicated the stone, is a memory key. It holds the resonance of a star that died 1 billion years before your son was born. Arthur was dumbfounded. He was speaking with a creature whose IQ, if it could even be measured, was off any conceivable chart. Cale spoke of quantum mechanics not as a theory, but as a simple fact of existence. He described gravity not as a force, but as the shadow of a higher dimension, a concept that made the hair on Arthur's arms stand on end. Why hide? Arthur finally asked the question burning in his mind. With your knowledge, you could change the world. Guide us. A wave of profound sadness washed over Arthur from Cale's mind. Guide you, little brother. We tried. Long ago. Your ancestors called us gods, then demons. You are a species of brilliant, beautiful, terrifying paradoxes. You create symphonies, and then you create weapons of annihilation. You love with a ferocity that can build worlds, and you hate with a fury that can burn them down. He continued, his mental voice softening. To reveal ourselves would be to break you, your religions, your sciences, your very sense of self-fall would crumble. You are not ready. You seek answers from the outside, from us, from the stars. But the only answers that will save you must come from within. Driven by an academic's need for proof, Arthur asked if he could record their conversation. Cale seemed amused. Your little boxers capture sound and light. They cannot capture thought, but I will give you something. Cale closed his immense eyes. Arthur felt a sudden, intense pressure in his mind, followed by a flood of information. It wasn't words or images, but pure, unadulterated concepts. He saw the elegant, terrifyingly simple mathematical equation that bound space and time. He felt the interconnectedness of every living thing on the planet. A vibrant, shimmering network of consciousness. It was too much. A universe of knowledge poured into a thimble. Arthur cried out and collapsed. When he awoke, the sun was setting, painting the forest in hues of orange and purple. The clearing was empty. Cale was gone. The only thing left behind was the smooth, dark stone, now lying in the moss where the creature had sat. Arthur returned to civilization a changed man. He contacted a few trusted colleagues, renowned physicists and linguists. He tried to explain what happened, to convey the concepts Cale had shared. They were baffled. The fragments of mathematics Arthur scrawled down were unlike anything they'd ever seen, yet they were internally consistent and, according to one stunned physicist, seemed to solve paradoxes that had plagued quantum field theory for decades. They analyzed his brainwaves, which now showed patterns of activity previously only seen in lifelong meditators in deep states of samadhi. They called it an anomaly, a hallucination, the result of a stroke in the woods. But they couldn't explain the stone. It was composed of elements not found on the periodic table, and its intricate markings defied all known forms of language, ancient or modern. The scientists were shocked, but also helpless. They had data they couldn't interpret, and a witness whose story was impossible to believe. Arthur's encounter with the 200 IQ Bigfoot wasn't proof to be presented to the world. It was a private revelation. Arthur never returned to the woods to seek out Kale. He understood now, the message wasn't for humanity, it was for him. It was a reminder that the greatest mysteries aren't out in the cosmos, but locked within ourselves, waiting for us to become quiet enough to listen to the song. What do you think? Was Arthur's experience real, or was it a beautiful, complex dream born in the solitude of the ancient forest? Sometimes, the most profound truths aren't the ones we can prove, but the ones that change us forever. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey today. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an exploration into the unknown. Until next time, keep questioning.